ladies and gentlemen, to Word of the Nerd, Episode 9. And today we're going to be talking about the DC animated feature that just was released for one night only today, covering the infamous graphic novel by the name of The Killing Joke. But first...
Nerd News?
Are you sure?
Maybe. Yeah, Nerd News! Nerd News! Yeah!
Dasher here for Nerd News, and today we're going to be bringing you some Comic-Con coverage that happened this past weekend. Big event out there in San Diego, you all know what we're talking about. Going to cover one of the trailers that went out, and that's going to be Legendary's Kong Skull Island. That's right, King Kong is back. Samuel L. Jackson's in another movie for 2017. Surprise, surprise, motherfucker. Anyway, this version of King Kong is going to be something completely different than we've seen before. If you saw the trailer, there was a lot of shit going on. Looks like it's taking place sometime in the 60s, the Vietnam era. You got the Huey Choppers, you got the M16s. A lot of shit's going on in the jungle. You got this big, giant, fucking Sasquatch Patrick Ewing looking motherfucker that they're calling King Kong now, that's supposed to be competing with Legendary's other iconic monster, Godzilla, sometime in the future. So if you haven't seen that trailer, check it out. Definitely looks kind of interesting. I'm gonna go see it because it is King Kong, and I mean, it's just something that you gotta do. But I'm a little skeptical about the look because, again, it just doesn't look like Kong. But I'm gonna give it a chance. And y'all check that out. Dasher for Nerd News.
And another trailer that we got during Comic-Con, we got a brand new Justice League trailer, which, damn what you think about this movie.
Fuck you!
This trailer just wiped away all of my hatred for it because it looks fantastic. You've got Aquaman doing his badass thing, because that was one of the characters that I was worried about the most, is what are they going to do with Aquaman. He does not look like no bitch that he has been made out to be for the last, 50 years. We've also got Cyborg, who looks fantastic. I love the way that Cyborg looks in this trailer. Can't wait for that. The only person that I'm really skeptical about still is Ezra Miller as the Flash. I do like the dialogue that they had between him and Bruce Wayne. I'm still holding my reservations for him, but the dialogue that he did have made me laugh a little bit, so I think he's gonna do all right. But the trailer looks fantastic. No whereabouts of Superman, but you know he's gonna show up at some point. But that's just the first trailer that we got. So check it out if you haven't seen it. There's going to be a link in the description to all these trailers, and check it out. Ian for Nerd News.
Seth here for Nerd News, and another huge surprise out of Comic-Con. DC dropped a Wonder Woman trailer. No one had any idea that they were this far along in production. They're in post-production. And as far as the way it looks, it's nice and bright and colorful, which is a great just difference for these DC films. I'm tired of the drab and unsaturated films. This looks like it's a lot of fun. Wonder Woman is kicking ass in this thing. I also like how they're going right back into her story. They're making it to where she's brought to life by Zeus through the sand. She meets Chris Pine on the beach, and of course she doesn't really know what a man is. So overall, I'm excited for it. Actually, I've always thought Wonder Woman was a great character. No one's ever been able to really capture her essence on film. So hopefully they do this one right, and we follow along with DC's whole little world they're trying to create. So here's to hoping.
And finally, in Nerd News, Nintendo has announced their little pocket-sized NES that is going to come complete with 30 built-in classic games. I didn't really read into if they're going to be able to play more than those 30 games. I'm not 100%, probably not, but the 30 games that we are getting in this little tiny NES is already just, and it has lit the nerd community on fire. I don't know anyone that is not excited about this. They're like, I'm gonna get it. Me personally, I don't know if I am or not, because I have emulators on my phone, so I can play it wherever I want. But the general consensus on this product is going to be,
of course
yes!
I'm gonna buy it!
Are you kidding me?
Of course!
brother,
It's a mini Nintendo with 36 games for like $99. You'd be stupid not to. Fuck out of here.
Come on. All the classics?
I'm gonna get the Sega version too.
And you can put it in your pocket.
Mm.
Right in your pocket. I'm gonna
It's
drink to
pocket
that.
sized.
Yes.
It's a pocket sized play.
So, fucking buy it.
I want to talk. I've been thinking about you and me. About how this is going to end. About who will end up killing who. Perhaps you'll kill me. Perhaps I'll kill you. You know that, don't you?
Tell me what I'm doing here. You're going mad. Where is he? Why aren't you laughing?
All it takes is one bad day.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 9 of W3rd. Today we're going to be covering The Killing Joke. I'm Matt Dasher.
Got me in Massingill?
And I'm Seth Revel.
And we are very glad that you could join us for this episode, a very special episode, as we just got back, literally, not even an hour ago, from the one-night only screening of the graphic novel adaptation of The Killing Joke. I just want to say, before we go any further, that I've never even turned a page of the graphic novel.
Really?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay, I didn't know that either.
I was not aware of that.
But with all the groups that we're in, I feel like I know it page for page, just from all the discussions that have taken place with it.
Well, it's hard not to know what The Killing Joke is about.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Even if you haven't read it, you know that's where Barbara Gordon gets paralyzed.
Exactly.
That's where you
Yeah.
get some of the most iconic moments in comic books is that novel.
And with that being said, first and foremost, we're about to spoil the shit out of this bitch. So if you haven't seen the animated feature or read the graphic novel, you might want to wait a little bit before you watch this show.
I feel like you're not doing yourself credit, calling yourself a nerd, if you haven't done either.
Yeah. That's one of the main reasons why I went tonight, because I felt ashamed that I haven't read the graphic novel yet. I had to get this in. With that being said, we're about to dissect the fuck out of this movie. Revel and Massingill are the two of the biggest Batman Joker fans that I know of.
Let's be easy with that Joker fan thing.
Yeah.
It's like, we've done that already. Here's the link to that video.
Yeah, with that being said, I would like to give the floor to Seth first so I can hear his take on this film. Seth, take it away.
Okay. I'm still processing, guys.
Man,
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
I want to say this. Regardless of how you guys feel about the movie, and irrelevant to how I feel, it was so great to see Mark Hamill and what is it?
Kevin Conroy.
Kevin Conroy one more time.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Just hearing the Joker's voice the way it should be
It was
again.
It was vintage Hamill Joker.
Yes, I felt like a kid
Yeah.
watching the animated
Yeah,
series.
he nailed it. It's going to go down as one of the most iconic screenings of the Joker that I've ever seen.
Oh God, yes.
And I would say that was definitely the way he portrayed that character in this movie was the highlight of the movie for me.
Yes, and he said a long time ago, I'm done with the Joker, but I will come back if you do The Killing Joke.
And if this guy wouldn't have missed the first 20 minutes of the movie, he would have seen him say that in a pre-documentary that preceded the movie.
That was good.
That was a
That's
great,
not- was
it was a
it-
great
Hey,
documentary.
that's not my fault. That's who was driving. I was not driving. She had no sense of urgency whatsoever.
Back to the story at hand. So let's have your take on the movie. Since we got Hamill's Joker out of the way, we know it was iconic. We know it was great. It was everything we expected and more.
Yes.
Let's get down to the meat and potatoes.
The parts of the movie that were actually The Killing Joke, not the whole backstory with Batgirl and Batman, was exactly the way that I remember it. Like, I loved it 100%. It was almost panel for panel.
It was.
It was beautiful. With that being said, that whole backstory, I feel like I didn't need. This could have been a 30-minute short, and I'd have loved it just as much.
That is almost exactly how I feel. And to tell you the truth, the first 10 minutes of that little backstory it started to get a little intriguing.
Right.
It started to lose me.
Yeah, like what is? And you even brought it up halfway through. Is this going to be a love story? I don't fucking know where they're going with this. This
Yeah.
is new to me.
Yeah, that's it. I think about 15 minutes after that, I turned it in and said, I'm watching an animated chick flick.
Yeah. I mean, I really feel like they could have fleshed out more with the Joker and Batman and got more into that dichotomy.
I would have liked that more.
And rather than giving Barbara her little thing, I don't
Well, yeah,
know.
'cause-
I don't understand the decision behind that writing.
It didn't make sense to me because we already know that this movie's gonna take a serious turn when there's a gun to her chest. We know that's Batgirl. You could have shown us a 2-minute clip of that. I didn't need half the movie. And I like you said, I would have loved some more backstory on Batman and the Joker if it was necessary, which to me it's not. But
Well, not even necessarily backstory, but if they were going to add anything that
Flesh out
wasn't
their
in the-
relationship.
exactly. If they weren't going to add that in,
Yeah.
ad lib that.
But no, instead you get she's doing this whole dance with this Paris guy, and all you get are little hints to why Batman doesn't want her chasing after this guy, and you know he's talking about the Joker, but he never talks about it.
And did
No.
you
Just
really
let you
need
assume.
a Batman Batgirl sex scene?
Her last words were, "Spit in my mouth."
I groaned when that happened. I think
I think
everybody
we
in the
all did.
theater groaned when that happened.
No, I didn't hear groaning. I heard laughter.
No, actually, I didn't laugh or groan. I went, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was.
What the shit is that?
When she takes off her shirt and it pans up to the fucking gargoyle, I laughed.
I will say
That
this.
was laughable.
I will say this. It was the most pussified version of Batman I've ever seen in any adaptation ever.
At least the first half.
Most all the movie, and I understand it's panel for panel. And mind you, I've never turned one page of The Killing Joke, but if that was the actual ending to The Killing Joke,
It was.
It was.
then I'm glad I didn't read it.
No, shot for shot, that was it.
I'm glad I never read it because
And that final joke, word for word.
Word for word.
because they this is my opinion on the film. They titled the film perfectly, The Killing Joke, because the whole time I'm watching this, it's killing me because I'm expecting some big giant payoff, and then it ends and it's like the joke's on you.
Well,
You're not getting no big giant payoff.
well, the thing is that
So it was titled perfectly. I was not impressed.
well, the Killing Joke is
Sorry.
not. It's canon and it's not, because the Barbara Gordon being paralyzed, they ran with that. But the way the Killing Joke ends, Batman kills the Joker. That's why he's laughing so much. That's why it's called the Killing Joke. That joke
But he
ends.
didn't.
Batman laughs. Oh, that's how the book ends. But even the writer said, yeah, he kills the Joker.
Well,
he was
I mean,
supposed to die.
That's why you see before the camera starts to pan down that he grabs him.
Yeah.
He's killing him.
Yeah, because he was laughing, he put his hands on him, and that's where he kills him. The Joker dies.
What was this movie rated R?
I know, right? I'm like, can I get one fuck? One? And not just Batman and Batgirl. I'm talking about the word fuck.
Pointless.
There was hardly any swearing.
It was
And-
barely PG-13.
yeah, and the killing, I'm like, I saw that in Under the Red Hood.
I mean, it was.
Yeah.
I didn't really know what to. I mean, I kind of knew what to expect coming in because of all the conversations I've heard about the graphic novel and how iconic it is, and now, even more so than before, I really just don't get it. I'm sorry, I don't get the hype behind this. It was a okay animated feature in my eyes. It was okay.
I will.
It's not even in my top 5 DC animated features. It won't be.
I'm gonna have to see it a couple more
Mm-hmm.
times. But my first impression,
To me, if Hamill doesn't carry this movie as the Joker, it's up there with All-Star Superman to me. And I'm sorry that might
he
be
was
harsh.
he was the saving grace.
That might be harsh,
Yeah.
but that's just the way I look at it. I'm not going to say it was a waste of time, but like we've said on this show many, many times before, I left and I'm thinking to myself, that's something that just happened. I just watched that. It happened. Moving on with my life.
I was expecting to see the reason it was rated R was going to be more fleshed out with him with the rape scene.
I was expecting
And-
brutality and
and the-
carnage, and I got nothing.
And the pictures that
and
he shows,
that torture scene with Gordon.
yeah, That old torture scene, that was much more fleshed out in the graphic novel.
Which
Yeah,
really wasn't
and-
a torture scene at all.
And also, what did they do in the torture scene? They added a fucking musical number.
When the world is full of care, and every headline screams despair, when all is rape, starvation, war, and life is vile.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
That almost lost me.
That did lose me. I'm like, they're doing this.
Yeah.
They're really doing this.
There were some things, and I did not get enough Joker. I mean, he's the main antagonist in this movie. The whole, like y'all touched about earlier, the whole song and dance with Barbara Gordon and Paris France, they did the fans a disservice by even adding that. Yeah, that should have got no more than 5 minutes to play.
Well, that's the thing, though. That whole entire first part of that movie could have been its own fucking film.
Exactly. It tied in. It did not tie in any way, shape, form, or fashion to the main story of this film, other than it led to Barbara Gordon no longer being Batgirl,
I'll
and that
agree.
was not relevant to the story.
I'll
from what I
actually
understand at all.
agree with you. They could have made that its own movie and called it like Batgirl Origins, and then come out with the Killing Joke.
Yeah, it
I'm
served
okay
no
with
purpose.
that. None. It
was,
really didn't.
It was pointless in this film. That's just the way I look at it. It was not
Oh no,
captivating.
nobody's disagreeing that first
Yeah.
half was just dumb.
It was not captivating. It didn't reel me in. It actually had me sitting there like, am I really watching an animated chick film right now?
But that's the problem with the movie is that Mark Hamill carried it so much that when he wasn't on screen,
He was in it for 30 minutes.
yeah, but when he is on screen, you're like, okay, you have my attention again.
Yeah.
Until you start singing.
Oh yeah.
But when he's not on screen, you're just like,
Yeah. When they cut to the actual storyline that the movie was supposed to be portraying, when Batman walks in the room and the bodies are sitting there in front of the microphone,
yeah, that was fun.
that's when it started getting interesting.
Yeah.
And there was like 30 minutes left of the movie after that. So I mean, what was the movie about? Hour and a half?
About an hour, maybe.
No. There's about 80 minutes or so.
It was about so yeah.
Really?
We're probably around an hour and 20.
Yeah.
We'll call it an hour and a half roughly. But out of that hour and a half, you got like maybe 30 good minutes of. I thought you got 30 good minutes of movie.
Yeah, and as much as I hated the origin story of the Joker, not in the book was fine, but in the movie, God, that was boring.
Yeah, I couldn't.
And I knew it was coming.
I could have.
Which is bad. Like, I know this is gonna happen, but I didn't expect it to bore me to tears.
I mean, is that supposed to be?
And
Is that supposed to be the actual canon origin story of the Joker?
No, that's not canon.
Okay.
No,
So then
that was just the story they told in that novel.
And that
Not
just for
canon.
that novel.
The only canon in this book is Barbara Gordon getting paralyzed.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, the Joker's origin, not true.
Okay.
And that's why, I mean, that's, as much as that origin was nearly page for fucking page, I don't know how they couldn't make it more interesting.
I agree.
It didn't, I don't know, it didn't seem like, didn't Batman have more of a hand in throwing him into those chemicals? He didn't just fall over, did he?
I don't remember. It's been a
Didn't he
while.
try to save him and he missed?
Yeah, I think he did, but goddamn, could Batman have done any less than just stand there?
Yeah.
I mean, that's really all Batman did throughout this whole feature was just stand around and look brooding and kick a couple of people.
I mean, they could have went into more of why, the Joker blames him or anything like that.
If I would have got that kind of payoff with the back, because I thought the backstory was boring and uninteresting and served no purpose. I saw no point in that whatsoever. It didn't feel right for the movie to me. I don't care if it came straight off the pages of the graphic novel. It did not fit in what the rest of the movie was going through at the time.
Well, neither did the first half of the movie.
Yeah, neither, exactly. With that being said, had I got more of a reasoning behind, Joker explaining to Batman, this is why I'm doing this, because you're a piece of shit and you destroyed my life and blah, 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 whatever.
Well, also, think about this. I feel like the first half of the movie was... There was no R rating in any of that.
No.
It wasn't until the Joker showed up that shit turned dark, but the first half, it was... You might as well have put it on the WB.
And am I to understand in the graphic novel that he drove Gordon like stark raving mad? Like he
No,
was like
that was legit. Like,
Was it?
Yeah.
Even after everything that the Joker did to him, he still said, "We have to do this right," because Gordon was unflappable in the book. He's like, "No, bring him in by the book. We have to show him our way works."
Well, I mean,
Yeah, that was working.
when he sits there and he sees his daughter get shot, his reaction that just wasn't convincing to me. It was just like some other random person.
Well, he did try to kill him at
Shot
that
next to
point
him.
because the Joker shot her. He reached for the scissors, but that was just pure crime of passion. But once.
I guess.
But when he got off the ride, yeah, that did happen in the book. He's like, "No, we have to do this by the book. Our way is the right way."
Well, I mean, if Batman was supposed to kill him, I would have liked to have seen that.
And I really wanted to actually see him do it, but I'm actually satisfied with the way that it ended, just like it did in the book. It pans down to the water, and you're just left to interpretation. Even though we know the Joker dies.
Well,
Which, by the way, the person that we were with, who had never read it or seen it, was mad at the end. She was pissed.
yeah, and me also.
Because she's like, because it just goes to black, Batman killing Joe.
Yeah, I was not very happy either. I mean,
Which
I've never seen it.
Having read the book, I was just, wow, they did do that.
Yeah, and I was satisfied with that because it wasn't like, oh, I was like, yes, all right, you know what? Good fan service, good job.
I guess my whole point is, after seeing this and hearing y'all say how much it did realistically mimic the graphic novel,
The last half, yeah.
the last half, I just really at this point don't see the big deal over the graphic novel anymore.
Well, here's the question.
Other than the fact that he rapes and paralyzes Barbara Gordon.
Here's the ultimate question though. Is this a case where maybe you shouldn't have stuck to the graphic novel so much? Maybe you
Should have took liberties.
Maybe you should have taken a couple of liberties, because as great as it was hearing a lot of those speeches, word for word from the book, and even down
You're just one bad day away.
Yeah, even down to that last panel.
Yeah.
I will say, I would not have liked that because they did when they did Under the Red Hood. That last maybe 10 minutes where Batman's fighting Red Hood all the way up until the end. That speech that Jason Todd gives, word for word, right off the page, and it was great. But the problem is that book had a lot more stuff going on. The Killing Joke, if you do it, because at the beginning of Red Hood, they were taking liberties because there's things in the book that they just left out, like Red Hood blowing up Bloodhaven. That didn't happen in the movie, but I would like them to have taken liberties with the first half, but better ones.
You know what I would have liked to have seen in the first half? When he's got all the pictures of all the carnage, when Batman's in the Batcave with Albert, he's looking at all the pictures of the carnage, and you see the picture of the dead Robin. I would like to have, that first half, to get a little bit of backstory on that.
We got one. It was called Under the Red Hood.
But, yeah, but it just...
But as far as the context of this movie's concerned, the liberties they took were with the whole Barbara Gordon thing, and it was unnecessary.
It was absolutely unnecessary.
They were poorly calculated.
Yeah, all we needed was...
him shooting Barbara Gordon alone is vicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All we needed...
I didn't need the movie to make me care about her.
No, not at all. And I didn't.
No.
Not at all. I thought she was annoying.
Yeah.
And I couldn't wait for her to get shot. That's not true. But she doesn't exist. But I would like have had not a whole half a movie. Give me 2 minutes of this character to establish who she is, to care about the fact that she gets shot, and we'll move on from there. I don't need half a movie to already find her annoying.
You know what part of the movie actually had me very, very excited? And then when the culmination of that scene came down to it, I was disappointed as shit. And that's when he goes to Arkham and he goes into the Joker's cell. And he's sitting there putting the cards down. And all you can see is a silhouette of his face.
Yeah.
And Batman's giving him this speech. I was expecting some magic right there. And instead, it wasn't even the fucking Joker.
That is how the book
That's
starts.
how the book starts.
I know.
Literally how it starts.
But
That's the first scene of the book.
that
Yeah.
disappointed me.
See, it didn't disappoint me because that's when I knew, okay, now we're getting into the Killing Joke. Because that is exactly how the book starts, and we can go from there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like somebody said online yesterday, you know, it's 45 minutes into the movie and the Killing Joke starts.
Pretty much. That's
Yeah.
exactly how it worked.
Yeah, which
Which is unfortunate.
It was unfortunate. I agree.
And that is, to me, the movie's main problem, and it's a big problem. To me, it is. I knew going into the film because I had read that they were going to flesh out Barbara, and I was like, okay. When I saw it,
Reading about it is one thing, seeing it actually come into fruition.
when I saw it, I could not give less of a shit.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very disappointed in this. What disappoints me in this movie the most is how long we have been looking forward to this.
Yeah.
And how excited we were
Yeah.
to see this. And I really could have just waited for it to come out on DVD, to be honest.
Yeah. This was not a case of overhyping. This was not a case of overhyping. This was just a case of poor execution from the DC animated studio.
Oh yeah, because they have not
Like I
hyped
said,
this movie
it's-
up as much as
yeah.
they should have.
No,
It's simple.
and it's definitely not their best outing.
DC's had a few of these here recently.
It was definitely Mark Hamill's best.
I mean, that's yeah.
This was.
He carried the film.
Oh yeah, he left on a high note.
If that's
In a bad movie.
If that's any other character in the movie besides a Joker, I'm disappointed I just shelled out $12.50 to go watch this movie.
Now, I wouldn't go so far as to call this a bad film.
Yeah, no, it's not bad.
It's not
just,
a bad film.
It was just a movie I watched.
It was poorly executed.
It has its issues. It has
Yeah.
its problems.
Yeah.
And and especially when you compare it to DC's other animated features.
Yeah. It's
When
not
you
even
compare
top
it,
five.
when you compare it to Red Hood and
Doom.
Flashpoint Paradox,
Doom.
and
Supergirl,
all
or Apocalypse, whatever.
Justice
Yeah.
League Doom.
Yes,
Yeah.
so many.
Throne of
great ones.
Atlantis. Mask of the Phantasm.
there was a lot to live up to there,
Yeah.
and I feel like they dropped the ball in the writing department in the very first part of it, because the book, you don't need to do much to it. All they had to, clever writers would have, like we said before, they would have fleshed out more of Batman and Joker. They would have given me more than the book gave me on why they feel this way about it.
I'm going to give you what I feel is going to be a pinpoint accurate description of anybody who went and saw this movie that had never read the comics before and what their reaction to it's going to be. Is that the first half of the movie had you so uninterested that when the actual movie took place, there just wasn't enough to bring you back into it in the amount of time that they had it on the screen.
Well, what they could have done, and I thought about this on the way home, is instead of having this whole Barbara Bruce fuckfest on the roof, and that's the reason, and she's fuck you. How about this? The Barbara and Bruce are chasing down the Joker. He's doing something heinous.
Sure.
And
that makes sense.
She gets caught up. He captures her or whatever, and then he has to come save her, and that's when she gives it up. I can't do this. He scared the fuck out of her.
She saw what a monster.
That is what I was
Yeah.
expecting the whole time.
And
that's exactly
had that happened.
When they came down to the docks, I was like, all right, this is where the Joker's at. The Joker's going to kidnap her. He's going to take her. He's going to torture her. He's going to scare the shit out of her. Batman's going to swoop in and save her. Some shit's going to go off. And that's what I was expecting, and I never got that.
Well, Batman even said it. He's like, this is still just a game to you.
Yeah.
And if she had seen what a true monster the Joker is, I believe she would have stepped away from it. And they didn't get that.
Because that would have been, that line there, this is still just a game to you, you haven't gone to where I've been, could have happened during some little fuck-off robbery mission.
Yeah, where they're going after like the Riddler or somebody gay.
It's like
or not even just some random fuck.
Yeah.
It's like the first 30 minutes I'm waiting on this random thing to happen, and when the climax of that particular part of the story ends, I'm like, really?
Yeah.
And then by the time I get back into the movie, it just ends.
Make it to where they're chasing him down or something, and he kills a kid or something.
Yeah.
just out of sheer and laughs about it.
Yeah, it was just.
And then she's like, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
And that's when she steps away. And then when he shoots her, they have a relationship in the film, because in the book most any graphic novel is going to have you coming in. You're reading this because you kind of already know these characters, and that's why the Killing Joke it cold starts the way it does.
Exactly.
Is because whenever Batman's talking about, I don't want us to wind up killing each other. I have to know where this is going to go. You know from previous stories that this is why he's saying this. Give me a reason in the movie.
Yeah.
Also, if you show this fear that Barbara has for the Joker,
and I never saw
you
that.
you have a truly great moment that you missed out on when she opens the door and he's there.
Yeah.
You could show, oh shit.
Yeah.
Here's this motherfucker now.
He opens the door, she acts surprised, but I didn't see.
There was not fear.
I did not see pure, unadulterated, terrified. I didn't see that. I saw, oh shit, it's bam, I got shot in the stomach. Daddy stabbed him with the scissors.
I just say that the whole they went the complete wrong direction with this whole Barbara thing.
Yeah.
That could have been great.
It took me out, like I said a minute ago, that took me out of the movie, and by the time I got back into the movie ends.
It ends.
Just like that. So that's why I say it was amply titled The Killing Joke, because it killed me that it made a joke of me.
It had a pacing problem. It did.
Yeah.
Because when the whole first part ends, it jumps you into a completely different film.
Yeah.
Well,
it was basically two films. You're right. It was two separate films squished together.
Well, what they also could have done is the whole Joker backstory. In the book, it's separated the way it is in the movie. If you just get all that shit out of the way at first, that's fine, because there were parts of the movie at the second act where, okay, this is getting good, Joker backstory.
Yeah.
Okay, this is fuck.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was a
pacing problem. Yeah. Show us the whole thing, get it over in 5 minutes, and then just get through the rest of it.
And that's what I was talking about before was can you follow a graphic novel too closely? They went panel for panel with that. They cut it in with a puddle book.
You can cut and paste and put this over here and put this over here and still have it be panel for panel.
This was another classic case, and we covered this in the Deadpool episode, to where so many movies that do the flashback sequences fail.
Yes,
because
Deadpool nailed it.
Deadpool is one of the only ones I've ever seen that's actually nailed the flashback sequences. Most of them, it completely takes you out of what's going on in the story at the time.
And you know what really ruined the whole Joker backstory part for me? When the cops take him out of the bar or whatever.
I just didn't feel it was well written.
And they tell him, they show him the picture or whatever, and they tell him his wife's dead. The reaction he has when he comes back is non-existent.
Exactly, yeah. It's like, really?
I don't understand that, because that's still Hamill voicing that character.
Yeah.
I don't.
It sounded uninspired.
Was it the director? The voice director?
No, he was just bored that day.
Yeah, it sounded uninspired, and the writing I just didn't feel was very good.
Well, I mean, even the drawing that we had of the character on screen was just, he didn't look sad.
No.
He wasn't crying.
No.
And
he was just like,
you just lost your wife and your baby, and
he might as well have said, well, that happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, had he been breaking down and the gangsters were trying to, you better shut the fuck up right now, you're coming with us.
Yeah. I could have understood that.
Yeah. But at least in mode, you're still a human being.
Yeah. Because that should have been, I mean, that was the point where he nearly lost all of his humanity in the book.
Yeah.
And I didn't see that translated on screen.
I didn't know that.
No, basically, he fell in some chemicals and he became the Joker.
Yeah,
No, there was a
pretty much.
psychological issue before that also.
Yeah. I'm not gonna. I know at the end of every show we give a movie a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I'm not gonna go as far as to say I'm gonna give this movie 2 thumbs down, because I'm not. I'm just gonna give it a shoulder shrug.
You know what? I'll give it a.
This is
the second half. This is the first half. This is the second half.
I'll just give it a shoulder shrug. See, I didn't get enough of the second half to give the second half a thumbs up.
I'll say
I
this.
give it a shoulder shrug as a whole.
I'll say this: if you're a huge fan of the graphic novel,
read that instead.
I wouldn't go that far. It was kind of cool to see some of this stuff on screen.
It was like
Hearing Hamill say
Yes.
some of those lines,
Yeah,
and
the,
hearing Conroy say some of those lines was
because I even got excited when he's like, if I'm going to have a past, I'd prefer it to be multiple choice. I was like, yay! He did the thing he did the storybook.
I feel by listening to y'all speak about it this way that when you left, the payoff wasn't what you expected it to be.
And I blame that on the first half. I really do.
Yeah, the first half.
That is honestly the movie's problem. It's the
It
first
is the
half.
movie's problem.
I mean, I have nothing but good things to say about the second half.
Other than the flashback scenes.
Yeah, which
and the musical number.
And the musical
oh
number.
fuck, I forgot about that already.
But I will say this.
And the ending. Now that y'all told me what's supposed to happen at the end, you just gotta...
See, that's why I'm
interpret it.
satisfied with the ending.
I didn't know that, but at face value, I was like, that's...
Because you get Batman laughing so hard,
Right.
grabs him, and just chokes him out.
I guess.
But that's left up to interpretation for people who haven't
Yes.
seen it. I'll tell you.
You
right
also
now,
get
he's dead.
Batman
Yeah,
having
he does.
sex. You also get Batman falling into traps. You also get Batman getting stabbed with a stick in the gut.
That was
And-
because of an explosion.
I mean, Batman was he didn't seem like Batman throughout this whole feature. He was just like a character that was there on screen, kicked a couple of people in the face, and basically told a bitch to go fuck herself. Yeah, that's how I see it.
I don't know, man.
And I have no problem with gay stereotypes, but goddamn, that dude was annoying.
Yeah, he was.
In the first half,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, her library
Her
friend?
library friend.
Oh,
wow.
God.
That's fine if he's gay, but dude, there's a point where I know it's an animated movie, but he is literally a caricature of gay people, and that's annoying to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought the gay theme was complicated. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? You're gonna say that?
There were two gay friends of ours sitting next to us, and even they were like, ugh.
Yeah, they did. They did. I knew right then and there that was in poor taste.
Oh.
yeah.
It was in poor taste. But there's three things in this movie that shined throughout the entire feature.
Hamill is a Joker.
It was the voice acting of Conroy and Hamill. That's one thing.
And the actual animation I liked.
The animation was great. It was a gorgeously drawn feature.
It was a pretty animated feature. I will give it that.
And even the score was good.
Yeah.
Except for the musical number.
There really wasn't much of a score though. It's like they told you before the movie starts, stay after the movie for a documentary about how the score was made. I was like,
No.
why?
Yeah.
There
Why would I do that?
there really wasn't a musical number. I mean,
And I don't
there
care.
were musical
I don't care about the
numbers,
score.
but there wasn't I didn't really hear an actual score. I heard some ominous tones from time to time.
Yeah, and why would I
But-
stick around through the entire credits just to see people playing instruments? No,
Exactly.
if I'm gonna stick around, Mark Hamill better be talking.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Like he did for the first 30 minutes of the movie,
Which I missed.
which you did miss. Yeah.
It'll be on the DVD extras.
Yeah, it'll be there.
Which I'm going to buy.
I mean, I'll
I'll
purchase
add it
it
to
too.
my collection.
I'll wait until it gets in the $5 bin. I'm not gonna pay full price for it. But it'll be.
I'm not gonna buy it the first month because it's gonna be like $19.99. I'll wait till it gets down to $14.
I'm not shelling out another $20 for this movie. That's not gonna happen.
I don't.
Yeah, and also I don't want to pay $20 just to skip to the second half.
Exactly.
Because that's all I'm gonna do. That's all I'm gonna fucking do if I ever see this movie again.
This movie better have a buttload of special features. We're talking another 2 hours of nothing but special features.
And 2 hours of nothing but Mark Hamill just talking to me.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Yeah, but he starts off with his journey as Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
How Luke Skywalker becomes a Joker.
Fuck, I missed that.
It was cool. You did. But anyway, do we have anything else to cover on this film, or else is that pretty much it?
No.
I think we pretty much said everything.
I just can't believe that.
Closing thoughts.
I just can't believe I was let down like that. I mean, and I'm not as let down as I'm probably portraying. I did like the movie, but I really, really wanted to love this movie.
I wanted to love it too, and I didn't. I didn't love it. It's all that first half's fault.
And that hurts my heart.
I wanted to be entertained by an iconic story that I'd never seen before, and I wasn't.
I mean, I kept waiting for that whole Barbara thing to end.
Right?
And it
I'm
kept
like,
going.
where is the goddamn Joker?
That's what I was. Where the fuck is he?
Yeah.
Why haven't I seen the fucking asylum yet?
I'm like, at any point, is this Paris guy gonna hire the Joker? How does this tie into any of this?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. It's pointless.
At all.
It-
This has nothing to do with anything the Killing Joke had to offer.
Yeah,
in the second half.
All it did was set up that Barbara's not Batgirl anymore.
I was hoping.
You could have done that in 2 minutes.
I was hoping this movie would make me want to go right out to the comic book store the minute after it ended and buy the graphic novel, and now I could care less if I ever read it or not. To be perfectly honest.
Well, that's unfortunate because
That is. It's a good
But
book.
actually,
It
at
really
this point, you don't
It
need to
really
read it
is.
because you literally saw it word
Yeah,
for word, page
yeah.
for page.
But so yeah, that's our review of The Killing Joke. If you
Yep.
got any comments, questions, complaints, concerns, fuck you, but put them in the comments. And
Jesus, Asher.
I'm
Sorry.
actually positive a lot of people might feel the same way that we do.
Yeah,
I think so too.
Yeah.
The general consensus that I've seen online so far is pretty much mimicking our sentiments right now. But until next time, we're going to be covering.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, that's
and
coming.
That's
literally-
next week.
It is.
I hope that's just not another thing that happens.
I am actually now. I'm putting this out there right now. I said it in the Joker episode. Link.
Yeah.
If in this movie the Joker saves Harley Quinn because they're in love, I'm walking out.
Yeah.
Because that's our next episode. If I tell you I walked out, I'm probably gonna see it with Seth. He'll tell you I did.
Yeah.
But I am actually kind of looking forward to this movie more than I was when we did the Joker episode, Link. And I don't know why. I think it's just because the more I see of it, the more I'm like, you know what, this movie might be dumb, but it looks like something I need right now.
Could it be? You know what? If it's dumb, I hope it's
Fun.
Legends dumb.
Okay. All right.
I
Legends
hope
of
it's
Tomorrow.
Legends dumb.
Campy.
Yeah.
Campy.
I just want a fun movie. I don't need it to blow my mind. Just make it fun. I just want to enjoy myself for 2 hours.
I will settle for a fun movie.
That's fine.
I will settle for
So
a fun
do I.
movie.
I
It
want
doesn't have to be-
pretty explosions
Yeah.
and funny dialogue
Yeah.
and action.
We already know that the characters are not going to be true to the characters, with the exception of one or two who look exactly like they came straight off the page. We already know this is not the Harley Quinn that everybody knows and loves.
Her,
We
I've already
know-
written off. And
we
I'm
already
fine.
know that this is not the Killer Croc that everybody's come to enjoy.
Yeah, because the closer we get, the more I see, the easier it is for me to write off characters I already know I'm not going to like. So I can just put that out of my mind.
We
when I
already
watch the
know
movie.
this is some off-brand witchcraft, fucking the craft version of the Enchantress that nobody's ever seen before.
Yeah, I think the person I'm looking forward to the most is Captain Boomerang.
I think the person I'm looking forward to the most is Katana because she looks spot on.
Yeah.
Her and Deadshot.
Okay, if Deadshot does not light one cigarette in this movie,
Yeah, I'll be pissed.
I'll be upset. That's like taking away Constantine's cigarettes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is Will Smith. Will he light a cigarette?
He
They have,
he damn
they
well
have
better.
fake cigarettes you can light.
He damn well better. Will, you better smoke a fucking Newport.
If not, I'm buying a pack of Marlboro and shoving them down your throat.
But anyway, until
boy.
our next episode, Dasher,
Ian,
Seth.
titties.
beer.
Yay!